completely obliterated by these guys. But yeah, we might as well move on. That was a nice little intrigue. We saw the Giro d'Italia route last week. We spoke about it. We weren't, well, the three of us weren't exactly enthralled with it, but we didn't talk about this, which was silly. Should Tadej Pogačar go to the Giro next year?
We all want to see Tadej Pogačar at the Giro. We want to see him in pink. But I mean, there were comments at last week that we could have glossed over about Pogačar potentially going to all three Grand Tours. But Matt White of Jake Alula, who's their big sort of boss over there, in terms of the sporting side at least, said that it's very unfeasible for Pogačar to do it, particularly with the weather as well involved at the Giro. If it's a bad final week of weather at the Giro, that makes it very, very hard to recover in time for the Tour de France, particularly with that sort of being prone to illness and so forth. There's also the timings as well of the Giro d'Italia. It's been moved back a week, so that can also affect the recovery time before the Tour de France. So it will make it different. We haven't really had in recent years people really go for both. 2018 was a particular exception.
What? Yeah, but that's soon. You're saying as if it wasn't in this like
No,
the last two decades.
post COVID. You know, I kind of
Okay,
put the
fine.
line at the post COVID era. Like we haven't really seen like people go for Giro Tour in the post COVID time, apart from that COVID season where lots of people did both. But that COVID season was like insane in 2020. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I think he'll want to. He think he really cares. He's quite romantic about this kind of thing.
If Pogačar goes to the Giro, he would win, personally. Because there seems to be just this massive focus on the Tour next year already, where the fact that there's like this already sort of like people converging, like Evenepoel's coming in, Jonas is defending, we've got Pogačar, and then there's like everyone seems to have like an extra little like man or two as like a sort of side kind of like second, I don't know, lieutenant, like a Sepkus will come in there, Adam Yates and stuff, and it's just like, it's just crazy the level that's going to be there. And I do think that if UAE are going to win Tour next year, I just don't think that they can go with anybody else except Pogačar. I don't think that Ayuso's got it to win the Tour next year. Sorry, Ayuso, but if they send Pogačar to the Giro and then backed Ayuso for the Tour, I just don't think it's going to work out. I feel like they have to send Pogačar to the Tour. It's the big event. It's the big showcase for our sport, and not sending Pogačar there would be criminal.
I agree. I think it's too much of a risk for their strategy in terms of the team direction. But we haven't even mentioned Almeida, really, like in terms of what he does. But he's not a winner. Almeida's not going to win a Tour de France. Sorry, Portugal. I just don't think he's got that in him. Like, we've seen enough from Almeida to know he's a really good contender, but he doesn't have that winning edge. That's fine. Plenty of people have that. But he's not quite ready to lead the Tour de France team yet. He's the same age as Pogačar, literally, like the same age. Like, they don't have, I don't think, a viable backup really for the Tour de France. Maybe Adam Yates, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Also, I mean, maybe selfishly for Poggy. I know he really loves Italy. It's so culturally tied to Slovenia, but the Tour de France ends in the city he now lives in. Well, like pretty much, you know, that's really convenient. He can have it like finish Tour de France, then go home. That would be really nice.
And you literally, if you go to the Giro, you throw away the Tour. Like, that's the crux of it.
So what's better, winning the Giro, finishing second at the Tour? Like another second place isn't going to add anything to Tadej Pogačar's career, you have to say. But unless he wants to go for become then a new eternal second.
Okay, but Giro, Tour de France, Olympics, that's heavy. And classics, there's no rest.
But you are sending him to the Tour in this world, because I would say Giro, Welter, just take that one sabbatical year from the Tour, do like Contador, win those two, and then go back to the Tour.
It's the Tour de France. I feel like even nowadays it's even more concentrated on the Tour de France, particularly next year with Roglic and Dave. Maybe they size them out. There's lots of competition. All of the Galacticos are going. It would feel weird if Poggy was the only Galactico to not go to the Tour de France, given that that's been his big canvas over the past couple of years.
He didn't go to the Vuelta this year.
True, but the Vuelta's a bit of like an afterthought, really. Jonas didn't even declare he was going until like 2 weeks before.
I just feel like I would rather win a Giro than finish second for what, the third, fourth year.
I agree. But you got to think about it from that business perspective.
Yeah,
Of, like,
that's
the
true.
biggest race in the year, and that's got to be the goal for him. But that first week of the Giro, it's like crying for Pogačar to be there.
Yeah, they're trying their best to bring him. They really are. They're making it hard for him to kind of turn it down, aren't they?
They
Should
got
have put
gravel roads,
more
hilly
gravel. They
TT,
should have done more
Pata di
gravel.
Tipo.
All
It's
gravel, all cobbles.
Whole Giro just gravel up and down Stravianke until they finish.
Imagine it would get won by Vanderpool.
What did you guys make of the Sepp Kuss remarks? Well, this is not Tadej Pogačar related. That he's kind of glad that, well, it's best for everyone that Roglic is no longer in the team for next year. And Patrick, you had something you wanted to add on Kuss as well.
Yeah, I don't really know how to feel about it. It's kind of, I can see exactly what he means. To be honest, I felt like it was coming to a point now where Jumbo was a bit of a there's just so many good GC riders in there, but it makes it hard, especially with, like, it was fine until Kuss won the Vuelta, where now there's a problem because now you have three Grand Tour contenders, and it's like, what happens with Kuss now? Because, he's usually he's the super domestique who also finishes in 8th in GC. But now he's Sepp Kuss, the winner of the Vuelta of España, ahead of big serious competition. And I remember seeing that he was talking about the thing that I wanted to add that Scott was hinting to, is that he was saying that he's gained more confidence from this Vuelta win, and he's perhaps looking towards having more leadership opportunities next year. And that now makes me think that explains almost what he was saying about Roglic, where basically he's kind of like, it'll be easier for the whole team dynamic in terms of harmony that Roglic has gone. And I think that I agree with that. I think it does make Jumbo's situation easier to deal with.
It's almost like we've had like paradigm shifts at Jumbo-Visma over the past couple of years. It's like the Vuelta feels like one where that just completely changes dynamic. Last year's Tour de France, when Roglic crashed out and then Vingegaard won, that was another big sort of move. And I mean, that whole like the COVID season, like building up to that, was also like that big paradigm shift of them becoming officially like the best Grand Tour team in the world. So this one definitely, like, something's got to budge. The thing that budges is Roglic, and I don't know. It feels a little bit like, I don't know if Kuss, if it's like being taken a little bit out of context, but like I think he would wish the best for him. Kuss and Roglic have worked so closely since 2019. Like, I think isn't every Roglic Grand Tour victory Kuss has been there?